All right. Give you a countdown.
Give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, I was supposed to play some music, but it's not playing. We don't have the Road Podcaster. It's Jeff J here to make your day, guys. We don't have the Road Podcaster. It's Pro Rogan. Where is this? Anchor SoundCloud. Here we go. This is actually, I need my speaker back from the girl. We'll talk about that later today.
He's playing it on his phone, people.
Yeah, it doesn't work, man. This is how we have the Road Podcaster Pro. It would have been, but oh no, I bet you I hooked it up through this one. So I got the new iPhone 14. Guys, we're gonna be talking bullying, Joe Rogan. Man, I'm so mad. I gotta turn this off. I didn't quiz it. We were literally just working. We're gonna be talking Joe Rogan, Dana White, and my boy Jake Paul. I'm gonna do a flex. Jake Paul, you scared of these guns, man? I'm not definitely doing steroids. I don't know if Jake Paul is. We'll be talking a little bit about that. How to brand better. The telephone number, if you want to call or text in, is 860-302-2838, 860-302-2838. This is my throwaway phone right here. You always got to have one of these. And this is the one. This is the Mac Daddy phone. How nice is this phone, Josh? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's real nice. You know what's really annoying though is when Jeff has 3 phones or 2 phones, he texts me like from all different numbers. And then I respond to him, but I don't know which one I responded to you on.
Yes. That's what I was supposed to do. I got the music now. But it's too late now anyway. All right. So anyway, let's get right into it. So literally, I want to share. Let's start with sharing the video from Dana White. All right. I'll actually share it on here on this.
I agree.
Thing. Should I share it on the screen or should I share it on here?
Show it on the screen.
All right.
Because I got people watching.
I just don't know what I have on my screen that I'm working. We're going to jump right in my thing. All right, guys, by the way, if you want to join this link or on Thursday, it's Zoom CLC. That's the one I bought for Changing Lives Consulting. If you don't know me,
we're going to shout out to all the people, by the way, who are watching on TikTok. On my TikTok, hire, train, and retain people. Got a webinar coming soon for all my followers. Thank you guys so much. You guys are adding so much value. And I'm posting some really cool, sick content coming up soon. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing this show every week, the Jeff and Josh Experience. Basically, I'll have a better haircut by then. What am I trying to do? We're in the studio here. Let's go. What am I trying to put up? Dana White.
Dana White's video. You got to go to Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like we're always in Instagram, huh? Love Instagram. So let's go here. I was just answering all my DMs. By the way, guys, anybody who's trying, I'm on Cameo now. If you want to get right to message me on Cameo. DM me the words Cameo, and then I can help answer. Oh, what am I doing? Checking my messages. We don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. There's my boy Alex. All right, let's go. Joe Rogan.
No, Dana White.
Sorry. Why do I confuse the two? Because they're both cool.
They both work for the UFC.
All right, here we go, dude. He 1.9 million views. Wow, this is a win for Jake Paul. I'll explain this in a little bit, but it's a win for both. Let's hear.
Challenge. You publicly stated that I use cocaine. I do not. So I told you could randomly cocaine test me for the next 10 years. I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years. And that thing that you came out with today, nobody on earth thinks that you really wrote that. You're too stupid.
By the way, stop the tape. What did he write that he thought he wrote? What was that?
I don't know. I think it was something about.
If anybody knows, comment below. I'm infatuated this as a marketer. Okay, as a marketer and a fitness enthusiast who did a box.
I think it was about his pay-per-view buys. I think there was a comment that came out about his pay-per-view buys and why it wasn't why it was not the best. What are you looking for?
I'm so hungry and I lost my protein bar. What's the name of them? What's the name of them? Not one. It was a different one. I think it was called Think protein bars. Really good, guys. If you know, I'm trying to get by the way, I'm trying to get a brand ambassador deals, as many as I can. We've already got a few in the inbox, which I'm blessed by. So Think Polo. I've been wearing your shirt on TikTok blowing up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, I think he definitely wants to, we'll just get back to tape. By the way, I wish we did this when we first saw it.
And for those of you that don't know, if you've ever watched those fights and you see when they do the stare down, the guy that's standing in the middle with the warlock nose and the big warlock wart on his face.
Tully does not like the guy.
apparently that's his manager. And that guy used to be an accountant for me. And let's just say this, he no longer works for me. And I think he's a scumbag.
So I got that part right.
But if you two think that you can do it better than we do, we're doing this whole thing wrong. You could treat the fighters better than we do. Knock yourself out. Go start your own business. It's easy to do. Get the war.
Do you think it's easy to do?
He's joking. It's obviously not.
The Warlock could get it started for you. What the Warlock should be focused on is your business. You're tanking. You can't sell pay-per-views. You're calling out Jorge Masvidal because he's a pay-per-view superstar. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson. These are all superstars. You're not. You can't sell pay-per-views. So you do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm ready to roll, buddy. I don't use cocaine. Do you use steroids? Let's do this, Jake.
So by the way, all right, so we'll stop that. So really quick.
Real quick, before we comment on, before we watch Jake's video. So I personally think that. By the way,
for this, should we do anything in case this does go like viral and stuff? Because who knows us, with you going viral on TikTok, this could go viral too. It's long form video and it's not needed as much.
What do you mean? Like,
should we do a context? Should we do a context like review of who Dana White is and all that, or just go with it?
No, if you don't know who Dana White is,
Google him.
He's the president of the UFC.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dana White is the president of the UFC. Jake Paul was a YouTuber, and YouTuber turned boxer, right? Good for Jake Paul. Good for Dana White. Two different career paths, right? So Dana White spent years building a $1 billion business, right? And he's spent a lot of time doing this right now. Jake Paul is shortcutting by getting attention by making loud, crazy claims, some which are factual and some which are not. Marketing, right? Breaking down exactly what Dana White said. So mostly of what Dana White said was accurate, but he said some things that were pretty like there were shots at Jake Paul. Like, I don't believe you wrote that. You're not that smart, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. That is one thing that Jake Paul is super self-conscious about, and you can see it. If you insult his intelligence, it's when he gets really insecure. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, listen, we all have things we're insecure about. Everybody does. I have things I'm insecure about. I'm starting to lose my hair, and I'm focusing on it all the time.
Yeah, dude, I have patches in back. I'm going to fix my teeth thanks to New York White Smile Dentist. We're going to do a vlog from, or We Smile Dentist. And I walk a little pigeon-toed.
Yeah. Let's talk more smack about ourselves. But no, like, we all have things we're insecure about, right? But that's what Dana White went after Jake Paul with. And he also threw his hat into the marketing ring too as well. He realized that Jake Paul, in my opinion, Jake Paul is a commodity when it comes to marketing, and said, listen, I'm going straight after this. I'm going to throw my hat in this crazy circus ring just to get the attention on my business too as well. Because Jake Paul is creating attention. But he's also probably sick and tired of hearing crazy stuff from Jake Paul. And then the numbers come out and it's like, dude, you're not as big as you say that you are. And then I think Dana White got a little bit upset and was like, F it, By
the way, I might have bought the fight, truthfully, but I was out seeing a movie premiere with one of the most influential people in my life thus far. We'll put it that way.
So anyway, so that's just to recap that. You have Jake Paul's video.
Yeah, so Jake Paul's a little longer. I don't want to get into it. So let's talk about this really quick, though. How do you handle a bully? Like, for anybody else out there, because you said this really well. So Jake Paul, I'm going to call him out there. I'll watch, before we watch Jake Paul's video, I'm not blowing up on one of the TikToks I am. Jeff the Entrepreneur, did you see the video I did about Jake Paul? So it's under my other account. So on TikTok, I'm Jeff the Entrepreneur. But so literally, whenever you want to get a message out, it's never hard to get a message out or connect with people anywhere. That's how I've grown my brand. And now it's even easier with Clubhouse. If you guys will follow me from Clubhouse, that. So look, this is my message to Jake Paul.
Dana White and Jake Paul are great marketers.
Jake Paul is being a punk and a bully. Ironically, someone who's given money to anti-bullying foundations
bullies a guy on how he runs his business. Come on, man, don't distract my workout.
So
Dana White and Jake Paul are great.
basically, Jake Paul, he does something for anti-bullying, right?
Yeah, I know, which is insane.
It's just hypocritical and ironic because the way he's built up his own crew is kind of, and Conor McGregor's done the same thing. So and I love Conor, right? But even with Conor, and it's a way to market, but I hate it. I don't want to give to people credit, but there's guys that I just don't associate. My mission brand is this right here: inspire others always, and I don't want to tear anybody down. And even my being critical of Jake Paul when I am and challenge him to fight or whatever is literally just saying, hey, sometimes bullies just need to be punched in the mouth, right, and then stop for it, right? And that's so literally, dude, he's challenging and calling out Dana White, who he can't fight. Dana White's built a huge business, right? Like, I mean, I guess I could fight, but it's the whole thing's ridiculous. I love Dana White too, so I'm a little biased. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at my lot.
Have you ever dealt with any? I don't even know where is it on Jake Paul's Instagram too? So have you ever had to deal with any bullies?
Oh yeah, you always do, all the time.
Well, we're gonna get demonetized here. There we go.
Dana, I accepted every part of your challenge. I said I would fight Masvidal in MMA.
By the way, my boy, shout out to Hammy TV, who called me a legend once. I used cocaine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna reply to him right here. Can I reply? How do I reply? I can not report. Hang on. 2 replies. How do you reply?
Might not be able to. They might limit them.
On here? No, I should. Oh, there it is. French. I got to give him from Frenchie. Do you know who Hammy TV is or no? He shares a lot of time in Clubhouse.
Yeah. You see Oscar De La Hoya likes it.
Because dude, he hates Dana White.
They hate each other.
I shouldn't do this because Albert loves Oscar De La Hoya. Albert Preciado. All right, there we go. All right.
Whatever the fuck you want. It is 2 weeks after my fight, and I am a fat bitch. I don't do steroids, and I take it as a compliment because there's no other excuse to me knocking out all of your champions than this kid does steroids. Look at me. Look at that. A fat bitch. If you steroid test me, then I want to steroid test every one of your fighters. Do you realize that my mom, Pam, gets more likes than your pay-per-view superstars? Men lie, women lie, Dana White lies.
By the way, likes do not pay you. Trust me, I know, okay? That's why when all you people in my DMs who try and sell me likes or followers, stop, all right? What buys is buys. Money transactional. So the fact that he said that is just like, come on.
Don't. Do you want to talk shit about my manager who was the CFO
He does have the word lock. You see it then right there, right?
of your company that helped you set?
By the way, us doing this now is now bullying, right? It's now making fun of it, right? I want to be like kind of self-aware of it.
To Endeavor,
Yeah.
$4 million.
Guy that's standing in the middle, apparently that's his manager. And that guy used
I'll be totally biased. I love Dana White, man. I like, you know what I mean?
to be an accountant for me.
You're just a jealous, ugly fuck.
So that's the one thing that Dad always said. If anybody's ever bothering you, just call them ugly right away because it makes everybody feel insecure, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest.
Yeah, neither am I.
I don't know what true happiness is. You're the definition of a fucking
Hold on.
unhappy billionaire.
Let's stop, because I think that's important because you can tell that Jake Paul was pissed off and hurt, right? And he did a good job with this video. It's edited and he makes it look funny and everything like that. And he had some humor in it. But
there's a UFO in a little bit in the side. Do you see that?
No. And he does a good job with it. But I think the issue is really of like kind of Dana White. I have Triscuits and they're in my throat.
We didn't eat all day. We were working. By the way, just so everybody knows, we're going to be coming out with some crazy good webinars. And I'm trying not to promote on this, but we were working all day. We really didn't eat. We just worked all the way through. Got some work.
Yeah. So anyway, what was going on is I think Dana White said some things that pissed him off. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why he went to, you're just a jealous, ugly fuck. Like that's why he went. Then he goes, and he talks about his face. Like he literally starts to go talking to his face, which is just like, dude, like
It's
I mean,
total bullyish, dude.
it's totally what a 14-year-old kid does because he doesn't know how to. Oh, I really want to talk about bullies after this video, but anyway, continue playing it.
The video. I do want to say, Jake Paul, I will fight you on an undercard with somebody else, possibly. So I want to put that. By the way, that is total marketing. I really don't want to like damage my face. Really, like, do you think I want to look like Jake Paul?
Money.
See that's bullying. See, I'm very good, dude. That's why Inspire Those is huge for me because I remember. I'll say this really quick. I'll say a time then when. Do you remember Dan Roy at basketball when I talked trash to him? So very similar to one of the guys. I didn't want to give him credit, but he's a punk. He's an effing punk, as John LaHere told me to call him. All right, I will. It's JT Fox, man. Sometimes he can be. I love him, but he's insecure. All right, and I do love him, dude. I love Jake Paul too. I understand where people's at. That's the thing about growth. But I could go to a dark place and just say something to people. But it's a horrible feeling. Dan Roy wound up losing a game. I was able to get in his head. I don't even know what he said, but I remember him saying this. You know, Jeff, at the end, I really want to bang your head against this, the cement. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember him saying that, but I remember you getting inside his head and me being like, "This is awkward as shit." I don't want to.
Dude, he was a great basketball player. I was not a half a basketball player, but this is why it's so important in your mind. I got inside his mind. We wound up winning the game. He was off on his shots. He missed everything. Right? I didn't even know, dude. I don't ever want to go back to that person. Okay, so even when I start to make jokes, I kind of sense myself that I'm better than that. All right. So like a lot of times when people are like, Jeff, boist your chest out, stand up to, X, Y, and Z. Literally, when people bully you to a point, it just makes you want to just fight them. That's literally like, I don't know why it goes that way, but that's what it is. You said against my mom, I want to fight you, right? That's always what it comes down to, right? And obviously they're fighters. So this kind of makes sense, this works, but in the real life, that's why I don't think you need to do that, man. Mother Teresa, who else? Martin Luther King Jr., right? That's how, yeah, go ahead.
Back when I was younger, I said some things that I learned were like, listen, you and I were both hurting after mom died. We had a different way of processing things. And that's why bullies always bully people, is because they need attention, they need love, and they're hurting. So they hurt other people. But I remember what I did was I was working with somebody. I was working with a girl, and she was mean, and she was mean, and she was arrogant. But she goes, I see her, and she goes, oh my God, I see her in the back, and she's like crying. She's like, oh my God, this guy just called me a bitch. And my first thing I said, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny, was I said, wow, he must have really gotten to know you, huh? Right? Which is really messed up, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing was that same scenario, very similar scenario, happened to me years later. And I actually approached the situation different. I was like, wow, that's messed up. I'm sorry. Nobody should talk to you that way, or whatever it was. But I just didn't care. Like, I was just whatever. A joke at the expense of someone else's feelings was funny to me, right? And because I was hurting as well too. And that's not cool. And treating people like that obviously is not cool. It's sometimes what comedians do, they get up on stage and start doing it.
By the way, are you live on TikTok?
I am, I think. Yeah.
You don't get distracted by it, right?
No, I don't, because it's behind me. Nobody's watching.
All right. So back to the bully Jake Paul, who ironically, great marketing. But and here's the thing I want to ask you: is there a way to market better than this? Because we got to talk, and they're getting what we want. This is the thing. If he didn't do this and he inspired Dana White, he would never have a chance. Like, this is exactly what you need to do, right? Like, in a way, for marketing. No.
One of the ways, like
was going to make their lives better. I feel bad for you.
I use cocaine.
Long story short, you addressed nothing that I said. I accepted your challenge. I said I would fight MMA. I said that I would retire from boxing, and you avoided all of.
By the way, did he really say that?
I don't know where he said that.
And so, but do you think he would do okay? He used to wrestle. Him and Logan, by the way, used to wrestle. By the way, part of the reason why we're doing this, guys, just so you know, if Logan Paul and Jake Paul can do everything they did, we can. We're blowing up on TikTok. There's nothing. So can you. Anybody can. It's part of a brand. Credit to them both doing it. Someone compared me to the guy. We got a comment here about, do you like being bullied? And he goes, do you mean the government? We'll talk about that healthy Mike, in a second. We're gonna get to talk about Joe Rogan in a second. All right, go ahead, continue.
That shit. Hold on. Also, instant replay. There was a fucking UFO in the back of this video. Side
Which,
note.
by the way, do you think they dropped that in there, or do you think that like we're actually like the world's like ended and the UFOs are coming?
I think there was something in the background, and he wanted to comment on it and make it.
I saw something very similar to that outside our house one day when I was bike riding. So anyway, it was just very interesting to me.
But like, fuck.
Look at his face there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Joe Rogan, aliens, we're all fucked. It shows that you are in a corner. You're a dog in a corner.
That's a great marketing thing to do, to put out an anchor of a name of somebody about something, right? Someone who's talked about something.
I'm so curious why he chose to use this angle, trying to fight to save his whole company. You know, UFC's done the best they've ever done this year, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think
him saying that is just like completely inaccurate, right? They went through the pandemic. They still did fights. They made the most.
I think his point is saying that I'm going to steal all your fighters and pay them more, which is what Khabib's trying to do. Khabib started another fighting league. Like, but
you hear what Tony Ferguson said?
No, what?
He called him a fat fuck. Excuse my French. He said, you don't want to lose weight anymore to go down. So you created your own weight class. Because he did. Like, they created a 165-pound weight class for MMA, right? Which, to be honest, there's been talk about them creating like an in-between weight class.
Right, yeah.
And but it was funny, like, because Tony Ferguson's crazy and he's Tony Ferguson. But anyway.
Yeah. Was he the one who lost? He's the one who lost to, was it Dustin Poirier, where he shook his head like this when he was getting punched?
Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
They went striking back and forth.
Yeah, that was sad to watch. That's one thing about fighting, man. Like I'm like, fighting, and then like I'm so like I have that thing that I don't want to quit at anything I do, but then I watch some of the fighters do it. I'm like, dude, just throw in the towel, man. Like, what are you doing? You know, like you're hurting yourself.
That guy doesn't fight to save his whole company, and the embarrassment that I've put you through. Everybody sees it, and what you can't accept or love or appreciate is that I'm trying to change the sport forever, and you are one of the most selfish, capitalistic motherfuckers that I've ever seen, and everybody else needs you, Dana.
So here's the thing. It's okay to be capitalist. Like, that's the thing that doesn't, like, the fact that he put that as a bad thing makes me want to fight him personally. All right.
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, he shouldn't be that big of an idiot to realize that capitalism is the reason why he got all success, the reason why he's in a whole other, wherever he's in.
Person that doesn't need you. I don't give a fuck about you. But all these people, all your fighters, all of them, they can't say shit because you'll just bench them. You met your maker. I'm not going to stop. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I use cocaine.
The bottom line, Dana, is that you won't add healthcare for your fighters because you don't give a fuck about them. And you're too much of a greedy bitch to pay your minimum fighter more than $12,000 for risking their lives, which is what a janitor makes. You need to pay them $50,000, Dana. Stop avoiding my points.
Jake, you never responded to the challenge.
All right. So, dude, Jake knows how to look as bad as they want. And we'll talk about Joe Rogan and getting bullied by the government in a second. For anybody who's still there, but dude, so literally it kind of like where do they take this now? Like, now that Dana actually, because Dana's confronted him and said stuff, but he's never actually posted a post right out
confronting him. Yeah, I think what happened is
but I also think David is,
I don't know if this is true or not, but what I think happened is there was so much talk about everything that, you know, Jake Paul was doing, all this, all that. And people kept on bringing it up in press conferences. And he would always say, I could care less. Next question. I could care less. Next question, you know?
We have Joyful Joyce's moment say, Aaron Rodgers checked in with Joe Rogan about COVID-19.
Yeah, he did. And by the way, you know what Aaron Rodgers said?
By the way, I wasn't going to try and talk about this because we're on YouTube, but go ahead.
I know. Aaron Rodgers said that, and this was talked about on YouTube.
Let's
Aaron
call it
Rodgers-
something different so they don't thing.
All right, the flu. Aaron Rodgers said that the NFL was looking to see what Aaron Rodgers did so they could treat their NFL players so they could get them back on the fields quicker.
No way.
Yeah.
So the treatment, dude, that's the thing. So you explained this before. Maybe we should talk about this. What we've been doing, you broke it down pretty well. Well, we'll get into code. Let's finish the bully stuff first. I mean, this whole show's about bullying. So when was the time you got bullied? And I want to hear it in the comments before. Sometime you got bullied. Listen, and one time you were the bully. Were you ever a bully too, Josh?
I just explained that story of me saying, wow, they really got to know.
Bro.
Huh. That's
like kind of passive aggressive, but like I really like went after people. So I think like it's good to be self-aware that you're both, you've kind of both done stuff like that. Just so you know, like, hey, I'm human too. That's why I don't hate Jake Paul and I don't hate JT Fox. I don't hate all these guys, right? That people say,
Yeah, dude, these people just need a lot of love, and a lot of that is.
Dude, by the way, I love you, Jake Paul, and I'll knock you out. I love you, JT. I know these guys need love. You know what I mean? So
so why do bullies bully? Why?
Because I believe it's because they're insecure about where they're at and what they want to do. It's a whole quote. If you see someone trying to tear you down, they're just looking up at you. You're doing something. Like part of the reason why I got bullied a lot or I got made fun of a lot is because I shine bright, dude. You see it, dude. And I don't mean this in any, I'm trying to be very not flex, right? Right now, I'm really not trying to, but this is special. Everybody knows who's joining the Changing Lives Entourage.
Try to not flex, but this is special.
But it is, dude. This is everything we've been working for. And I was ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? So. What?
All right. Why do bullies bully? We were talking about that.
Yeah, so because they're insecure and they want a thing. That's really what it comes from insecure, and people bullied them at one point in time, and that's how they learned. Okay, so because they learned that way, like if you listen to to certain people's stories about it, they'll tell you a story on how they learned when someone was mean to them, and that's how they learned, whether it's a dad or something like that, and then that's how they feel like they're okay to teach it that way.
Let's break this down to a little bit because this is very important to understand. Human beings look at things in their life through a filter that they have. Now, we all do this, and we all do it in this certain type of experience. When a new person walks into a room, we automatically assess that person. So let's say, Jeff, you and I are sitting in a room and someone walks in. We're the only two people in the room and someone walks in. What we do is we assess the person. We look at their physical size. We look at what their gender is, and we start to assess them. One of the reasons why we do this is our animalistic brain is trying to assess a threat. Is this person a potential threat to us? Also, who is this person? What are they doing? Why are they here? We all do this. Every single person does this. If you're at the gym and somebody comes right next to you, you automatically start to do this. We can't stop it. It's just who we are as human beings. Then as we grow older, we make more assessments, we create more filters. Mm-hmm. We actually do this. We come up with reasons why. The problem is bullies always see people through a filter of a potential threat. Not a threat in the fact that maybe that they feel afraid of, but a threat that they could diminish them in some way. Whether it's psychological, they could do it, or whether it is physical. So their immediate reaction to that is to neutralize threat, neutralize threat, neutralize threat, neutralize threat. So they'll push out as much aggression as they possibly can. They'll peacock, they'll do whatever it is to try and be the person who is the biggest person in the room, to be the person who is the most threatening person, even though they feel threatened. So when it comes down to it, bullies always feel threatened, and they're always on, and they're always taking the step to active to not feel threatened. It's a paranoid lifestyle because they're insecure, they feel pain, and they always have to throw out everything because what they're assessing it through is a filter of this person is a potential threat to my status quo, to who I am, to whatever it is. And instead of them feeling insecure about it, they act out on it.
Right.
So with that said, when you and I have learned things, right? We look through the different filters, people care and stuff like that. This guy, right now, he's just looking at a filter of potential threats. And what he does by doing that is attack. And I think, honestly, Dana White did the same thing too as well. He looked at him, was like, this guy could be a potential threat, and ignored him. We're going to talk about handling bullies in a moment, by the way. And he ignored him for a while, and then he came out with this. And this is exactly what bullies like. They like the attention. So they'll take it. You took it to level 5, they'll take it to level 15, you know? And I think that's really what's unfortunate, because now Jake's better at the bullying thing than Dana is. So Dana's going to either have to shut up, and then that'll make the bully feel more empowered because he'll feel like he beat him, or he's going to have to double down and do something that you probably
so where does it go from here anyway? Like, honestly, I think it's all marketing at the end of the day. I do think words do mean things, right? So I do think there's the things that probably shouldn't have been said on that. And that's what happens all the time. I mean, honestly, it's so important what we do put outside our mouths. So important. This is how wars get fought. This is how everything starts, right? Whether passion, belief, religion, it's communication. That's why communication is one of the highest art forms you can get paid for. Because if you can communicate well, as I can't communicate here, right? The better you are, the more people listen to you, and you can make a movement, right? So like Myron Golden taught me this. I have it on my wall. Implementation is when you're a factory worker, you're just working a spot. And then management is when you're controlling people who are you're managing people who are implementing. And that's like, you can pay $40K to $240K. Communication starts at $100K a year as a sales guy, to then, you're working at one of the high level executives. And then the last one, which is what I'm doing with Kokomo J's in my dreams, is imagination. And you need, mindset and money, and you need to handle all that stuff. So like, it's a big thing when it comes to it's so important what you say,
Yeah, it's very true. All right. So what, so where do we want to take this? You want to take,
I'm gonna take it to TikTok now. Well, how do you handle book? I'm gonna go to TikTok live. I'm gonna actually post this on my Instagram wall. So hello, Vanessa, and everybody else watching. Guys, you can call in 860-302-2838. That's the throwaway phone here as we're doing this here. See, throwaway phone right here. Oh, there's my reality board on it. We'll hear about that I actually got to put it on my iPhone 13. By the way, did you write down your goals today at all?
No, I didn't.
So we should do this. This is the Daily Ledger. My boy JD Frost is going to give me $100 for writing them down every day. And then I have the Glenn Lundy planner. Shout out to him. I wish I had him. I'm in there for the quote today, which is just a big shout out to him, just to even put me in. I didn't know he's going to put me in there. So awesome. All right, so we'll end this here, and we'll go over to that. So this here.
So we should go deeper into this, but I think, there's no perfect way to handle a bully. There really isn't. But I think most of the time you should ignore their behavior, because their behavior is them just trying to be, it's trying for them to get attention. And I think, there's times when you can't ignore it, right? So there's times when people are being, they're just going to be consistently aggressive. So, there's that saying, if you train people how to treat you, it's very true. So if somebody's, consistently always a bully and they're always bullying people, you don't want to give that person too much attention, because they're going to keep on doing it if you have a reaction. But if they do treat you in a certain way, you got to pull them aside and say, hey, you can talk to other people that way, but you can't talk to me that way. And it's going to be a whole like flexing thing, but you have to let them know you can't talk to me that way. And Dad's whole thing was, you got to punch him in the mouth, right? Dad always wanted to, strike the bully first. I think a lot of as younger things are, when you're younger, it is very much more physical. The older you get, bullying is done psychologically. It's done through words, through verbiage. It's not done through like pushing. It's not done through shoving or beating up. It's done through psychological ways. So you kind of have to use that psychological aspect back on them. One of the best things I like to do when I
Yeah, dude, explain to me the box, because you always told me anytime, and I didn't realize this. People will ask questions in a box, put you in a box, and then like keep you inside that box. You know what I mean? Like that was.
Oh, you're right.
I've had a lot of coaches. I jump on a calls with me. What are you doing? And then they do this to me, and I became aware of it because of you. It was a huge value.
So they create a box where it's their own reality, and they have you live in it. So they create a world. This box is a reality of their world, and they ask you questions where they've created the rules, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, they make a statement. Do this very, very well. They'll make a statement that is a true statement, but like everything is hinged on that statement, right? Yeah. Well, you would be a great salesperson if you made $1 million in sales. Who says? Who said that? Right? You would be a great manager if you were you knew how to talk to people, right? They make a statement and then they start asking you questions to see if you have actually made that statement true, right? So they automatically put you on the defensive. And the way to stop that is to question them back, right? When they say, well, you know, to be a good salesperson, you have to have $1 million over in sales. You can acknowledge the statement and say, yeah, it sounds reasonable. I don't know if everybody would agree with that. You're automatically saying that reality is not really on firm ground. Once 100% that you're like, okay, yeah, I guess that's true, is now you're in the reality. So when they're saying, well, how much sales have you done over the last year? Why are you asking me this? No, because I need to know, because I want to know, why is this important to you? Why are you asking me? What made you make up that rule? Why are you creating this? Because everybody knows it. What you do is you throw them off psychologically. Whatever the reality is, you have to break it down slowly. And it's very exhausting. That's why people who are bullies, that's why I say it's better you ignore them and cut them out of your life. Like if they're like being a loud person, whatever it is, just stay away from them. It's exhausting. It's a waste of time. They're most likely not going to learn, and they're most likely not going to be able to change their behavior. And you're probably not going to be the one that teaches it to them. Life will probably have to teach it to them. And how it teaches it to them, it's probably going to be through something very traumatic. And honestly, you don't want to be around when that happens. That's why I always like, dude, I stay away from people like that.
Yeah, no, you're really good at backing people down. By the way, we're on Clubhouse here. I just put Jake Paul Joe Rogan. I spelled it wrong, just like my aunt did. Rogan. We're going to end this room too, but hit the bell, guys. We're going to be putting on Clubhouse once I get the Road Podcaster Pro and coming in live at a set time. And follow the club, the Change Lives Entourage. We're live on YouTube, and where else? We live on LinkedIn and all that stuff doing the show. Facebook and everything there. So Jeff the Entrepreneur, anywhere you go, check that in. This is the Jeff and Josh experience. We'll be having Juliana Pena. Can't wait to have her on. Dana White. So we're going to have him come on too. Maybe we'll even have Jake Paul on eventually. Who knows? Who else we got? Dustin Poirier. So we got a lot of UFC guys. It's not really a UFC show, but it's all growth minded. And it's funny. I was in Breakfast of Champions this morning, and they were talking how you can relate sports to business, right? And you really can, right? Like there's so many life examples in it, right? Like how you treat someone, how you talk to something, right?
Right.
I've always done things with football. All right, let's get into Joe Rogan and the government right now.
So real quick, I meant to search in.
Or share your screen.
I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, I'm disabled.
I gotta get you the other. Oh, here.
I'm disabled.
By the way, do you think they should pay people who are disabled? Yeah, you're good. Like I want to. Yeah, they like cap them, and some of these people can make more money, but then they cap them on their potential.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
By the way, dude, Clubhouse for me is so addicting. There's Haley's room right now I want to join. There's how to become a TikTok influencer. And
this is how Jeff gets distracted. So I searched Joe.
The whole world does.
So I searched Joe. Okay, I put in Joe, and these are the top Joes that came up to Google. Joe Burrow was a football quarterback.
Yeah, they're doing well. I heard about him just recently. It's
who is that? The Bengals?
Bengals, their new Jeff Blake.
Oh, nice. Joe Gatto. Do you know why Joe Gatto is in there? Do you know who Joe Gatto is?
Don't even know who that is.
Joe from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, I like him. He's on Cameo like with me. Me and him. You can get
Yeah,
shout out. What happened with him?
he quit the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so him and his wife are getting separated, and
Oh,
yeah, I know.
oh.
And he's like, I got to take care of my kids, so respectfully, I'm gonna step away from the show.
Dude, I like that guy. He was on Clubhouse. I talked to him on Clubhouse.
He's hilarious. He's an
I wonder
awesome.
I wonder if that's what broke him up with Clubhouse. He was on Clubhouse too much. Yeah.
I don't think so. And then,
By the way, dude, that's
yeah.
my worst fare ever. Like I'm getting married. I'm doing it once. Like no matter what, I know like I have a lot to work about relationship, and we'll talk at the end of my little TikTok experience and how I went viral.
So then the third Joe is the most popular president
Our
in
president.
history,
Mm-hmm.
according to data. President Joseph Biden. Nazi fags. Sorry, I can't play the
Oh,
clip.
did he say that?
Yeah, he said Nazi fags.
I didn't know that. Yeah, we got to get the.
But he didn't say it. He was trying to say Nazi flags, but he screamed out Nazi fags because he couldn't, because it's Joe Biden.
Yeah, but that's like not like. Here's the thing: if you're gonna hold and Trump accountable, a lot of his words he say, you got to hold. And like, at the end of the day, man, they're all.
The thing
human.
is, there's so much for Joe Biden because he messes up so much that you either have to say, you have to call him out on every single one, or you have to say this guy just can't talk. You just can't. He's losing it.
I know, like it's crazy, dude. Like
It's
honestly,
sad to be
there
honest.
were moments.
Dude, did you see? We should
Dude,
almost.
no wonder why. No offense. And listen, I'm against the politician thing of anything, but no wonder with the last two presidents we've had, like no wonder why America.
Why everything's so divisive right now?
It's just very. They're both like. There's both jokes and listen. I want to be as like bipartisan as both if there's some stuff there. Oh, we're gonna do this.
So, did you see? Did you see this?
I think you showed me this here. Oh yeah.
I can't play it with the volume. Wait, maybe I can. I don't know. Will you be able to hear this? Can you hear this or no? No, you can't hear it.
I can't.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry
Thanks.
Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, buddy.
By the way, I think that was the best way to handle it. You know.
Yeah, I think it's the worst way to handle it.
Well, what are you gonna say, man? Hey, how dare you? And get a reaction. He just rolls it
You
off.
ignore it and you don't repeat it. Let's
Yeah,
go,
he should have
Brandon.
said I agree. He's like,
Yeah.
saying, "Dude,
Dude,
I probably
let's go, Brandon means fuck Joe Biden. So the guy literally said,
monetized.
the guy, I'm just quoting it. The guy said, Merry Christmas and fuck Joe Biden. He said, fuck Joe Biden. I agree. That's what happened. So, I mean, like, listen.
By the way, if he is the
Can I
most
be honest? I watched that and it's funny. Don't get me wrong, but I felt bad, dude. I was like, this guy doesn't.
if he is the most popular president, and maybe there was this, I don't remember any of this happening to Trump as much. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. Like, I don't remember like a whole like stadium like chanting stuff. You know, I just don't.
He is a happy man. Look at him. They both look happy. Look, they've got the most powerful.
Is that his wife?
That's his wife, Jill.
Oh, wow, she looks way more competent than him.
All right, let's.
She does. I mean, most women are.
Maybe she's running the show. Everybody's asking who's running the show. Who think's running the show behind Joe Biden?
It's all. Look, Google Agenda 2030, dude. We're already if we're gonna go all the way there, we might as well go all the way.
Joe Rogan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Rogan had Robert Malone on.
By the way, I haven't listened to it yet. I'll watch it. Where can I watch Joe Rogan?
Jake, you never responded to the challenge.
Dana, I accepted every part of your challenge. I said I would
Joe
fight.
Rogan had Robert Malone on. Robert Malone is the inventor of the mRNA technology that we currently are using for the flu vaccine. For the COVID vaccine. So he's come out as he's vaccinated, but he's come out as not the biggest proponent of the vaccine. Like saying, hey, listen, I know I created this technology. It's not doing what everybody says that it's doing. They're selling it for the wrong thing. And he's almost more upset, right? If you're an inventor, think of it this way. If you're an inventor and you invented a light bulb and you said this light bulb is guaranteed to last 10 hours, and then people start selling that light bulb and say, this light bulb is guaranteed to last 10,000 hours, then it's going to make you look like an ass, right? So now he's coming out and saying, no, the light bulbs, yeah. The light, Jeff's trying to figure out sounds right now.
Yeah, make the show better, you know?
So the light bulb is obviously the vaccine. But anyway, so Joe Rogan has him on. Now, this guy, unfortunately, medical doctor, right? MD, Robert Malone, MD, 18 years, 22 years, something I forget, practicing medicine, is being silenced because he's not saying things that are going according to the narrative, right? So there's other people who come out whenever you question the vaccine and if its efficacy or whatever it is, you tend to get silenced by big tech. It's just a fact. It's just what it is. If you come out and you question it, people are afraid to actually question it, right? Which is one of the things that I'm not to do. Did you see my story today, Jeff?
Shut up!
Okay.
I want to play that when he said, I'm a little late. When he said big tech science, that's what I want to play.
Okay.
We'll preload a lot of these. This will be good when I get the Road Podcast Pro up.
So
I did not see your story today. Do you want me to watch it right now with you?
No, it's okay. You don't have to. But what I said in it is, I was getting a lot of comments about stuff because I made some certain comments. And one of the things is my comments aren't like, I'm not telling everybody, go get the shot, go get vaccinated. And I'm not telling people, don't take it. It's, the devil's poison, right? I'm kind of more like I take a step back and go, okay, it's a product that came out by, pharmaceutical companies, and it's an okay product. It's not the greatest product ever. It's probably helped save some lives. And unfortunately, it's probably, took some lives too as well, but it's a product and we should just look at it that way. The vaccine, right? That's how my view is, right?
I'm totally getting banned now.
We're not getting banned. People talk about it all the time, but people who are consistently projecting a narrative that says you should question the efficacy of what this actual vaccine does are the people who get silenced, right? And if you say that anything else is better than the vaccine, monoclonal antibodies, whatever, ivermectin, all the hydroxychloroquine, all the different things that have been talked about and discussed that, hey, this could be an effective treatment for COVID, you get silenced too as well. Why?
Which is crazy, dude. That's
insane. Crazy. But also, listen, go work for a pharmaceutical company. If you want to make money, go make for a pharmaceutical company. Nobody's allowed to talk bad about you. Yeah, hey, man, I'm Pfizer. I can do whatever the hell I want. Which, by the way, nobody can sue them at all. This is insane, right? So anyway, so they're coming out and they're creating this vaccine. So what I've said is, that's how I view it, right? It's like, listen, you got to look at it like objectively as possible and not be tribal about it, because a lot of people are. So I said, listen, vaccines aren't the new Jesus and they're not the new Satan. That's basically my stance. They're not going to save everybody like Jesus, and they're not Satan. They're not going to kill everybody, right? Like Satan. And we gotta start looking at it that way. It's not a savior and it's not a destroyer, right? As far as we know right now, that's just the data. Like, that's facts. And the fact that other people can't just get their head around it, it's just insane to me. But anyway, so Joe Rogan had brought this guy, Robert Malone, on, who's been saying a lot of these different things, but he's been saying it with data to back it up, right? He's the inventor of the technology that we currently use in the vaccine, right? He's a vaccinologist. He studies vaccines, right? The guy knows what he's talking about.
We got to get him on the Millionaire Marathon and Clubhouse. You ever go to those?
Here's the thing. He knows so much of what he's...
Come on, the Millionaire Marathon and Clubhouse. He
knows so much of what he's talking about that people try to silence him because it doesn't fit the narrative. And the narrative is oh my God, my aunt's texting me. She's saying you're live on TikTok, but I can't hear him. The picture's is a blur. It's because I'm in low power mode. Thanks. There we go. Oh, Marissa. Dude, you remember Marissa?
Marissa, which one? The coach girl?
From Clubhouse.
Yeah, she's in there on TikTok.
She was on there. She said, "Hi, yes, miss you guys." But
Well,
anyway,
and she's someone who had an adverse reaction to the vaccine too.
I know, and
I love her, by the way.
Listen, no,
By the
her.
way, that's why you got to hang out on Clubhouse more, and we got to bring this over to Clubhouse.
You got great people.
Dude, it's all the best people in the world, and they don't censor speech, dude. Like you can talk. That's why I said get them there. They really don't.
So anyway, long story short, so Robert Malone was on. It's a great podcast. You should listen to it. But he was talking about, he's like, a couple of weeks prior to this, how he's like, he would sit down with his wife at the kitchen table and say, man, should we put this tweet out? And we got to be very careful the words we use, because we know that Twitter is going to try and censor what we say, because they're going to look at it as misinformation or vaccine hesitancy, right? This is the inventor of the mRNA technology that we currently use. And he's talking about how he needs to censor the words that he chooses.
What was Joe Rogan's response to that? We can't pull any of that up here because it's not on YouTube, right?
Well, it's on Spotify, but anyway, so Twitter just shuts him down, right?
Yeah.
Twitter shuts him down. Sound effects, shut up.
I think this is the guy Grant Cardone interviewed. Yeah, see? It got taken off. You got to watch it on here. See? Yeah, have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
We got a call in. We're not going to take it though, guys. Sorry, we're done past our call-in time. Go ahead.
Anyway, so long story short, because we got to wrap this up soon,
Hey guys, hope everybody's doing
Watch
well.
what he says
The interview you're about to see was recorded on September 24th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my girl, my youngest, Scarlett. Sabrina just left Winnipeg. She's 12 years old. Today, the interview you're going to see is with Dr. Robert Malone. He's a virologist and immunologist. He's been in the space of vaccines for sure. He's over the world talking about this vaccine, and literally less than an hour and a half after we had posted it, it was completely taken off the internet. So I'm going to give you the link below or the recording, whichever you'll see, one of the two. It's there for you to watch and share if you see fit. Again, I'm a curious person. I'm curious. I'm a father. I'm an employer of 700 people. I'm a father of Scarlett and Sabrina. I have a lot of employees that are concerned about the vaccine. And this interview, my attempt is not to make a case for pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, but to just share from a professional standpoint.
So anyway, he got taken down. The whole interview's here, right? Typical, Grant Cardone.
It's that age-old saying: the more you try to cut someone's tongue out, the more you just prove the fact of what they're saying is correct.
Well, that's the biggest thing. So
anyway, I was going to say that, well, you're sharing your screen now, but I was going to say this is, so what happened is he said, where can people find you? Because they can't find you on Twitter anymore. He said, well, they can find you on, they can find me on Getter. And he goes, what's Getter? And he goes, it's Twitter's alternative. He goes, yeah, Twitter's.
Look at the headlines right here. You just read mass information. What's that? What's that word?
What is mass formation psychosis? Robert Malone makes unfounded COVID-19 vaccine claims on Joe Rogan show. YouTube takes down anti-vax Joe Rogan interview with Dr. Robert Malone, which likened vaccines to mass psychosis.
What does psychosis mean? By the way, this is huge. The old me used to never ask these words.
So, okay. So basically what it is.
Hey, Google, or hey, Siri, define psychosis.
Psychosis means a severe mental disorder in which thought and emotions are so impaired that contact is lost with external reality.
By the way, I freaking love this thing, dude. I feel like James Bond now.
So pull this down for a second. So what Robert Malone said is something that has currently not just happened because of the COVID vaccine. It's been happening a little bit before Trump got elected, and then Trump lit a fire on it. It is the division psychosis. There was a division between Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, the brainwashed by Tom McDonald. What did he talk about?
Right, exactly. The division between black and white, with Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, and now there's a division between the vaccinated and unvaccinated. The fact that people don't see the patterns to me is mind-boggling. Like, didn't you just see the fact that it's been this versus this?
What do you
this.
think's next? Can we take Vegas odds and buy what's next?
Yeah, what is next? What is the next thing that they're going to
every 4 years they do something with Black Lives Matter, then they
But what he was saying is what has happened with this vaccine, and what has happened over the past couple of years. And Joe Rogan, to his credit, said this kind of happened in Trump. Trump kind of has some credit for doing this because he was so divisive too. And Robert Malone was like, well, yeah, obviously it's kind of like where of going. It's what Jordan Peterson talks about. The way to get things terrible.
We should play that. We should play that clip
at a time. If you threaten people and you're sophisticated by it, people will actually follow suit until they feel the cause to stop you.
Jake, you never responded to the challenge.
We're going back to this. So that's search Joe Rogan. This is a great clip.
And I think this is
from
good
Jordan Peterson.
So if I share his thing, will Instagram flag me if I share this?
Oh yeah, so I shared it.
Yeah, I saw you do it.
It says he says this is an important one. He explains his credentials, right? And
sure. Yeah, see,
make sure the information is reliable. This guy.
Yeah. So, dude, Instagram. I shared something about freedom or something.
And here's the crazy thing: is that guy's been a doctor for 18 years, right? 20 years, whatever it is. Forgive me, I have the years wrong.
Is this it?
No, go up. It's one of up. No,
is this my girl right here?
Yes, go up. It's that second video.
Oh, he just posted this then.
He did, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Here, we'll watch this quick here.
Places, one tiny
don't understand how it gets to the point where
things get to terrible places one tiny step at a time. You know, if I encroach on you and I'm sophisticated about it, I'm going to encroach 2 millimeters. I'm going to encroach right to the point where you start to protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. Then you're going to calm down. Then I'm going to encroach again, right to the point where you protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. And I'm just going to do that forever. And before you know it, you're going to be back 3 miles from where you started, and you'll have done it one step at a time. And then you'll go, oh, how'd I get here? And the answer was, well, I pushed you a little farther than you should have gone, and you agreed. And so then I pushed you a little farther than you should have gone again, and you agreed. And if anybody's interested in this sort of process, and this is a horrifying book, if you want to read about how this process works, you can read a book called Ordinary Men by Robert Browning.
Just don't understand how it gets to the point where
things get to terrible places.
How I grew on Instagram is doing what I'm just doing right now. And I deleted a post before because it was kind of bullying towards Oscar de la Hoya. And I did. Did you notice that?
Yeah. And well, I mean, listen,
I said to Hammy TV,
he doesn't want to be bullied. Maybe he shouldn't be wearing dresses.
Why he wears dresses?
Search Oscar de la Hoya dress, because I saw an image a long time ago. I don't know how true it is. But then we're getting all over the place.
By the way, this is the Jeff and Josh Experience dress. So I liked Oscar de la Hoya back in the day, but he's kind of losing it.
Yeah,
now.
he dressed in drag. Yeah.
Right here. Oh yeah, I've seen this picture. I really don't want to look at it. I know. Yeah. There it is. Well, he definitely did. Listen, dude, everybody's done. I don't regret.
No, it's the
what?
Yeah.
I just hope he's okay, man. I hope everybody's okay. You know,
He dressed in drag during a cocaine and alcohol-induced state. I mean, haven't we all?
Yeah. Oh, there you
go. Anyway, so where I was getting to that is he explained what the mass psychosis is and that it's happening with all of us. We're not questioning things anymore. We're just agreeing.
So by mentioning this guy, we might be taken down on YouTube.
I don't think so, because I read article. I watched
he looks like Santa Claus. Does he not look like Santa Claus?
He does. I just thought the same thing. I was like, put a red hat in that, man. Come on. So I was thinking to myself, like, So I was watching The Hill, right? The Hill's got news reporting on it, and I watched some other stuff, the news report. I've got two guys on it who are extremely pro-vaccine, right? They're vaccine salesmen. So they don't know who this guy is, but they automatically they're talking about him and saying, well, if he's talking to Joe Rogan and they're talking about the vaccines, then it must be misinformation, right? Because they have no idea what they're talking about, by the way. No idea. They're not doctors. This is the insane thing to me. The people on CNN are not doctors. The people on Sean Hannity's not a doctor. Tucker Carlson is not a doctor. Why the fuck are we listening to any of these people? And then when people like Robert Malone,
That's gonna be mad that you're swearing, by the way.
It's me. It's who I am.
Okay. But it can't be me. That's one thing. And then Dad swears, tells me.
Well, listen, no, the reason why I'm saying this is because, listen, like I'm choosing to be myself and living myself in my passion. You know what I mean?
I get that. And listen,
if I go on Joe Rogan, if you went on Joe Rogan, I would speak freely and I would speak to be myself too as well.
Oh yeah, but I don't normally swear. Like I really don't. You know,
so you don't have to. I'm not asking you to swear. I'm just saying.
But we get demonetized. I'm trying to make money out of this podcast.
You can make money swearing, dude. I don't know why whoever fed that into your brain that like you get demonetized if you swear.
I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong then. All right, go ahead.
I'm not saying that you are. You're not.
That's true. Joe Rogan got $100 million contract.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
Doing whatever he's doing. Anyway, by being real, by being himself, by not censoring himself, and that's what's happening so much. Just this mass censorship that came over, and these businesses technically they're allowed to do it. It's their own rules. Twitter. So this is the whole thing I was going to say, and we got to wrap this up because I got to go make dinner. But the thing is what happened was Robert Malone at the end, he said, where can you find you? He said, you can find me on Getter. And he goes, what's Getter? And he goes, it's an alternative to Twitter. And he goes, really? And he goes, yeah, it's a great place where it's free speech and everything like that. And Joe Rogan, to his credit, goes, doesn't have a lot of right-wing nut jobs on it, does it? Because that's not what you want, right? So then Joe Rogan looked into it, took like a day or two and joined it. And then it came up like, oh my God, how dare he? Wow, they're suggesting Dave Rubin. You follow Dave Rubin if you follow Joe Rogan. Dude, here's the crazy thing. Joe Rogan is liberal. Who's
Dave Rubin? I think that's the guy I DM'd.
Dave Rubin is a conservative commentator who I believe is gay. And he's he does the Rubin Report. He has leaned a lot into very controversial topics. And
by the way, anybody I can't follow you, I have to unfollow people to follow people because I follow the max 7,500. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so is what it is.
Let's talk about this at the end.
So Joe Rogan went on to Getter. And then immediately, so search Joe Rogan, just search Joe Rogan and see news.
This just happened today, too.
It did. Joe Rogan tweets about Getter following Twitter ban. See, this is what I love. Joe Rogan joins.
Hey, was Joe Rogan banned on Twitter?
No, he wasn't. But he went. So Joe Rogan is something. So Joe Rogan's like a traditional Democrat, a traditional liberal, right? Where in the sense that they believe in free speech and do what you want, man, and say anything you want and peace and love and
marry whoever you want, all that, yeah.
Right, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But now we've twisted it, right? So now the Democratic liberal side is now
socialist,
like totalitarianism, right? Being totally like, you have to listen to what we're doing. We're saying socialism, communism, leaning heavily into it and not even lying about it, just saying this is what we want to do, right? Everything that kind of Bernie Sanders said, but now it's almost like it's on steroids now. Uh-huh. So now Joe Rogan's like, well, that's not what the F I signed up for. But he was like, you know what? I'm going to see like unvaccinated Joe Rogan cancel sold out show in Canada. I don't even think I can even get in. They put Bernie Sanders. That's funny. Dude, like, here's the thing. Like, I find stuff funny even if I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, even like I can find the humor.
Dude, can I tell you something? That's what I love about the Millionaire Marathon. So you don't go to that room ever on Clubhouse at night, do you?
I'm never on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
I
why?
used to be on Clubhouse all the time. I got to get back on. But like,
Dude.
I like video content. I do not like audio content.
Yeah, but like when you're in the car, what do you listen to?
Books on tape, podcasts, Joe
So
Rogan.
that's all put up. Yeah, I guess so. So it's good. Anyway, the whole thing is they definitely do a lot of free speech. You'd like it a lot. A lot of what you're talking about, I already hear because of Clubhouse, the Millionaire Marathon and stuff, right?
Right.
So we're bringing this show to Clubhouse and maybe break out audio. What's the other one? Fireside chat. There's a whole bunch of them. Whichever one, we'll probably be on all of them or just one of them eventually. But yeah, and especially once we start getting the guested and stuff,
Yeah, which we got to do. By the way.
Well, let's go over a little value at then. How you grew up in on TikTok. I'm gonna go to TikTok website really quick. We're gonna look you up because did you know TikTok passed Google for the biggest search engine?
I heard about that. Yeah.
So yeah, and which is crazy. Which because TikTok, do they censor stuff or no?
What's that?
Do they censor stuff or no?
Oh yeah, they do. You can still get stuff out, but like, so you'll see it like.
But you can literally search how.
Once something gets to like 50,000 likes, has vaccine misinformation. Like somebody.
So look, the reason why TikTok is going good, is because of this. They made their search thing so good. How to change tire on Mazda 3. So exactly what YouTube does, but you know how YouTube, you have to skip through everything because it's so fair. You can get right to the point and people do it in entertaining ways. So they're paying the world to be video editors, right?
Not again. At least I know how to change that tire. I hate donut stairs.
And my whole point, I don't even know if they did. I don't need to change the tire right now. I need to change a lot of tires on my Mazda. But that's why. So if they search management tips, or whatever your hashtags. Do you do a lot of hashtags or no?
Yeah.
Look at this, dude. You're at 34K followers.
That's not bad.
Dude, look at this. 56K, dude. 153K. Watch this.
This is one of the most important things a manager can do every single day. It's pretty simple. Acknowledge your people, say hi to them, and say goodbye to them. And let me explain why this is so important. I remember probably like 10 years ago when I was just an employee, I was having a hard time going through a lot of different things in life.
You're following everything perfectly. You did these videos very
and I had a bad day at work and I was about to leave. And one of the other employees there looked up at me, smiled, and waved goodbye to me. And at that moment, it felt like actually things were going to be okay because someone acknowledged me. Someone acknowledged my presence. And I thought, man, maybe tomorrow's going to be okay. I never forgot how that felt, and I made sure to apply it to my management principles. Now more than ever, human beings are competing for attention. A lot of times we don't feel like we matter. As a leader, we have a position of authority, and we can actually empower somebody to say every single day, you matter.
That's great, dude. I'm the biggest fan. We were at the gym today, and you said a few things I grow out. So these are great. I actually want to see it is live here. If we can see the live video of us. Oh, that's so crazy. That's so cool. It's like Inception. Wow, now I need to talk more clear, man. Sometimes you sound better until you hear yourself. But with that said, so I always got in trouble every time. We'll end with this today. So follow Joshua's Growth on TikTok. Follow me at Jeff J. Cunningham on TikTok. I blew up. Anytime I try and look really good, or do something, people are like, you're egotistical. So then I got tired of that. And if and go look at my Instagram, people say, Jeff, you're all over the place. Part of the reason I didn't want to look great was so people couldn't say that. And it was more of like caring about what other people think, right?
Wait, I don't see how those two relate. Say that to me again.
And I know this is going to sound bad. Who put the thumbs up? Did you do that?
I didn't put a thumbs up. Oh, I guess I didn't like that. I said, I don't know how these relate. That's funny.
Yeah, so
I don't know how to remove it now.
So so I'll explain with my TikTok and then we gotta go because you gotta do that here. So my whole thing, you trying to put it back up again?
I did, yeah. What if I do this?
I think you gotta take it down first. So if you go see me, Jeff J. Cunningham. So I definitely went through, learning a lot about relationships and when I'm ready to add my queen, right? There's a book about being a prince and I'm very similar in the prince stage, maybe sometimes immaturely in the knight stage. I'll admit that. So this is me right here. Let's see. I don't even know why it's not loading here. Tell me a song. We're not even good. But dude, like, I know this song.
Well, that's another thing, dude. The fact that the CDC changed, which, by the way, I agree with the CDC changing it to 5 days instead of 10 days.
So here's something that TikTok I learned, and you probably know because you were more from me. I used to do duets, do whatever I could, just random stuff, right? All the time, whatever was on here. Then what happened was I started researching a niche on relationships is really what I did. And then I did this. This was the first post I did that took off. They went to like, I don't even know how many views it'll say. Doesn't really say it. So this one got 60K views and grew my account. This one's still going off, right? And then you get all these comments on it.
What does it mean until they found out your stage?
So that's why, because there was curiosity into it, it told my story, but then I made people ask questions, So here, look, I'll explain it in this video. So this girl asks it, and so then I put this here. Where is it? And the thing, wow, I'm confused. So I forget. There's a part where I quoted it. It's in this one. This one explains it because I read it in a book. So there's a book here. Where is it?
Oh, that. I'm just confused because I'm not gonna say.
Entrepreneurs who are princes looking to become kings. So the first thing you need to know that in the prince stage, it is important to have faith and patience and trust the process of doing the daily committed work.
So that's where we are right now, right?
Now, it's very important that you surround yourself with other kings that have these 3 features that you want to immerse yourself with. Those 3 features are calm, relaxed, and reflective.
You have more of that.
Kings possess wisdom, and if you listen to him and impart wisdom, you will absorb that wisdom. A king knows who he is and the types of people he wants to surround himself with. I am proud to be around King Brian Murdoch, one of my clients, who has helped me from the journey from the prince into my own kingdom. Follow me to see this prince turn into a king.
So everything I've done when it said it, that was like I think the first video I did. So I would just want to document it. So always what I've done my whole career with my brand and brand messaging is always told a story and told the story enough to spark questions or inspire reaction, right? And that's what branding is. 100%. It's always telling a story behind it and the color, getting people in the psychographics, right? And talking to them. So this is now a part of my story. I thought I was a little bit more ahead than I was, right? And then I tried to get pretty serious in a relationship and realized, man, I'm not even ready at all, right? I'm way far from it. So, and then, so that's the journey that I'm going to be checking on TikTok a little bit. It's just me growing in self-growth,
Yeah, that's good. The nice thing about TikTok too is you can get people to follow you based on who you are, right? That's another thing that influencers have come on.
Well, it
used to be. So for me, my whole thing is adding value, right? Some of it has to do with reflective stories about me. But how can I be better? How can you be better? That's all what it's about, right? How can we be better as a person?
Which I think it is. So people, there's a 7-second rule on TikTok to go viral. You can look 7 second. People are like, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no value added unless the person's good looking, which is the value, or it's funny in 7 seconds. That's the value. People miss the value. I see people sit. This is anything. This isn't just TikTok. I'm not a TikTok expert, but I just started putting value out. Right. So that's it. You want to be
what value did you put out?
Telling exactly what you need to get to the next stage to become a king. I learned it. I literally learned it, and then I retaught it right away. That's how how I learn stuff right away is as soon as I learn it, I reteach it, because this is what you do in college. That's when you really absorb it,
Right. No, I agree.
So even though I don't have everything figured out that I'm reteaching and I'm learning, it's definitely
No one
making.
has everything figured out. And the people
I
who
know,
act
but I'm getting a lot
do.
of heat, like, oh, are you a relationship expert? I'm not. I'm trying to figure it out. But it's me learning and like being very distinguished of like, you know, how to build your kingdom. You know, like Elena Cardone has a course on build your kingdom. So that's kind of what happened before.
So I think a lot of it too has to do with the fact that if you like to track your journey, right? And that's your ups, your downs, and everywhere you go. And I think sometimes that can be I think what you were saying is like people saying, oh, now you're doing this or whatever it is. It could be confusing with people because if you're not, if you're positioning yourself as an expert in every single field,
I was
then,
never, here's the thing. I was never claiming to be an expert on anything.
I know. I'm saying you as in the general you. You know what I mean? Like if I was positioning myself to be an expert, which I did for a long time.
But by the way, nobody's an expert. That's why I'll never say I'm an expert. I'm continuously learning.
I agree. There's, by the way, positioning yourself as an expert is not coming out saying I'm an expert in this. Positioning yourself as an expert is the way you talk about it, the way you try to insinuate certain things to other people, the way you proactively speak over people when you think that your point is more important than other people's points. Like there's different ways to position yourself as an expert, and there's a lot of people who do it and they come across as bullies, they come across as inauthentic, or they come across as people who are like, I don't really like that person. But they're still trying to position themselves as
what do you think Joe Rogan is an expert on?
He's figured out how to podcast. Let me tell you.
It's very art of conversation very well.
He knows how to have the art of conversation, and he also knows quite a bit about MMA. You know, a lot of things. I heard somebody like say something like, well, Joe Rogan, he was never a professional MMA fighter. And why is he commentating? I was like, dude, he knows. Like literally when he explains and breaks down, oh, he's going to try this. Like
maybe we'll talk about that later on. People create all these rules. There are no rules in life. There really are not. They're all made up by men. It's so true. And that had energy and it was a good idea, and then they formed it. And the people you're around.
Well, why do you think they created a rule?
It all depends for a reason. I mean, why are they creating the rule that you can't share vaccine information right now? You know?
Right. So most of the time why rules are created is to prevent chaos and bring order. Some rules have the exact opposite of that. They actually cause chaos.
Maybe that's what they're doing with preventing all the stuff, the chaos that people aren't taking their vaccine, you know?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Like if you don't take, there's another thing, like there should be a category, like people who have had the virus and beat it and have natural immunity, people who haven't, and like haven't taken the vaccine, and people have taken the vaccine and doesn't really matter because you can get the virus apparently anyway. But like it's just like there's like people like to call unvaccinated people like there's this huge threat, right? That's the thing. I'm like, a lot of these people have already had the virus and beat it. They have natural immunity. Their body remembers.
They didn't even know. They didn't even get tested. That's why the numbers, dude. Here's the thing, and I'll say this really quick.
Dude, I will say this. Thank God the fact that this virus isn't as deadly as we thought it was going to be, because we have no idea what the hell we're doing. I watch Anthony Fauci, and his favorite phrase is, you know, we really don't know. And like, they don't know. And like, they just keep everybody on suspense. And I think people are getting tired of it now.
It makes it like a movie. Listen, it makes it like a movie. Our life's a movie. We can go act out a movie. Go act out your scene with your girl. And I'll play some music to go out here.
Make dinner at 6 o'clock. Yikes.
So you make dinner. So when I get married, I gotta make dinner. I gotta make dinner. Hey, by the way, G sent me a message. Chef, what is the lady who has the coffee talk show in Texas for social media? Thanks.
G doesn't have that great of a memory, or she doesn't know how to use Google. I love you, G.
Yeah. She was so you did 2020. All right. So we're good. I'm gonna play some music on the way out. Which music should I play?
We're not good. We're great. That's always what people say to me. Hey, Josh, am I good?
Great book, by the way. Good to great. By that. All right. Which song should I play at the end in here?
1, 2, 3, 4, F you.
I don't like that. So I can't even try. I always end with these songs, but then we get copyright claims.
Watching.
You know the song?
as the credits all roll
What was the
down.
moment from today? I think today's show is kind of lackluster. We'll have to do better next time.
I've been having dreams.
All right. I don't know. This just can't.
Something on the
All right. Be great. Follow Jeff at Jeff.
It's too loud. Yeah.
Follow me at Josh Lewis Growth.
Thanks for doing this, dude. You know what? We got it. By the way, when we're at the gym, we got to not talk. Some of that stuff was really good. And I think we like get rid of the good stuff when we're on there, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
a better way of guessing. By the way, if anybody notices, I tag Jordan Peterson, I tag Patrick and David and Joe Rogan's past. These are things, Josh. You notice how I tag you in a lot of posts sometimes?
Yeah, I get notifications and I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
So that's how you grow right now. That's how you grow on anything on Instagram. You tag people, you collab stuff and stuff. You get yourself relevant and get seen. So start doing that. It's the 180 rule by not Gary Vee, somebody else. I forget his name. All right.
Sounds good, brother.
When are we doing the next show? When are we doing the next show? All right, we'll figure it out. Put the bell on, turn, like, subscribe, and share this to Jake Paul. That's it. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Solid like a gold, lying in the cold. I feel right. Wait, if I'm on fire, how am I so deep in love?
Oh, dude, it's gonna be a lot. Maybe I should have ended with Back to December. That's what I should have had, Taylor Swift.
I never feel so lost.
This is what I can't listen to music to. I start thinking about love right away. We'll talk more about that. Still in love, man. Still in love.